Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm MJ, and I'm really glad that you're here. So, last time I shared the origin of this idea, this framework, this concept of being unreduced. Today, I want to talk about where it actually begins. When your world gets smaller, your first response is almost never clarity. That certainly wasn't my first response. It's usually resistance, or minimization, or negotiation, or passive acceptance, or resentment, or any number of other emotions. That's where I started. There was a period when I kept telling myself that my constraint was obvious. It was caregiving. It was time. It was responsibility, it was my role, it was my obligation, even if it was one that I entered into fully and compassionately and with love. It seemed self-evident that that was the constraint. My schedule was full, my movement was limited. I couldn't travel, my choices were narrower. Sometimes I couldn't even leave the house. Of course, that was the constraint. Except that wasn't the constraint. What the constraint was, what I slowly began to realize, is that it wasn't the circumstance that was compressing me. It was the story that I was attaching to it. It was the story that I was telling myself. I thought the constraint was, I can't leave. I can't leave mom alone. I don't have time. Mom will be scared. She'll resent me. My life is on hold. I just have to accept it. Those felt factual, but they weren't. They were interpretations. And interpretations, my friends, have weight, serious weight. Most of us assume the constraint is external. It's time, it's money, it's responsibilities, it's our roles. It's what other people think, what other people say, or it's just plain other people. But the real constraint is usually more internal. It's identity entanglement. It's the belief that if I expand, it says something about me, something not so good. That if I need space, I'm selfish. That if I pursue something outside this specific role, I'm abandoning that role. That was my real constraint, not the caregiving, the meaning I assigned to what my expansion would imply, what it would say about me, what it would mean I was as a daughter. Constraint doesn't always look like caregiving, don't get me wrong, that's just my example. The idea is far more universal than that. It might look like a medical diagnosis. It might look like a job that you just can't leave, at least not yet. It might be parenthood, marriage, a role you just didn't expect to have, or multiple roles. The circumstance or circumstances can be real, but what compresses us most of the time is the story that we tell ourselves. The story that says, this is who you are. This is all that you are. And that's where the shrinking begins. That's where this reduction begins. What's important to realize is that the first move is not expansion. It's not movement. It's not decision-making. It's honesty. You cannot expand what you refuse to see, what you refuse to recognize. You cannot widen a field that you're misidentifying. Like I said, the constraint is rarely the circumstance. It's the story that you attach to it. And naming that story is stabilizing. Naming that story is the first step. It doesn't remove the circumstance. It removes the distortion. And distortion is exhausting. When I finally said, quietly but fully, I am not constrained by love. I am not constrained by obligation. I'm not constrained by my mom and her needs. I'm constrained by fear of what my need for expansion, what my need for more says about me. When I finally said that, everything shifted. Not dramatically, well, maybe a little bit dramatically. Not instantly, but structurally, internally. Clarity did not make me cruel. It didn't make me a bad daughter. It made me capable. Capable as a human being and more capable as a caregiver, more capable as a daughter. And that's where unreduced actually begins. Not with movement, not with actions, not with decisions, with naming, with recognizing, with naming that constraint. So here's the question. What is the constraint that you're still negotiating with? And more importantly, what's the story you're telling yourself about it? Sit with that. Name it quietly, fully, honestly, even if that's hard. That's the first beam. Next time, we'll talk about what happens once you've named it. But for now, just notice. Be patient with yourself. Honestly, it took me years to name my constraint honestly. Hopefully, you'll be a little quicker than I was. For now, just notice. Just sit with that. You don't have to shrink with your constraint. You don't have to be reduced. Thanks for being here. And remember, wherever you are, you're never too far from wonder.